name is April Williams, and like you all, I've been through a lot, and like a few of you, I've been through the most. My life, my life hasn't always been easy, and I had to recreate myself. I had to pick myself up from the ground up, dust myself off, continue to learn the lessons, and move forward. I've always been a very esoteric girl, turning into an esoteric woman. And it's been a journey, and it still is a journey because it's not over yet. It's time I share it with you. It's time I help you. So, long story short, I've been neglected and abused and abandoned most of my life. And there have been parts where I've connected with people, don't get me wrong, and my mother and I have been on this healing journey, and she's come a long way, I've come a long way. But the one thing that I've always been gifted with, aside from my intelligence, is extreme tenacity. I do know when to quit, and sometimes I don't. Anyway, I know I'm here for a reason, whether or not that was confirmed by my absent father figure in my life, and the ones that were there were abusive to my mother, or neglectful, or assaulted me in one way or another. I always knew that I was here with purpose. People who have survived often don't get out of survival, but I'm lucky enough to get out and thrive and show you how to do so. It started, I would say, at my birth. I could ask my mom about my gestation period, right? Her pregnancy. But that was also problematic. But at birth, I was born in a military hospital where I was pulled out with forceps, which are basically the salad tongs, right? They're like kind of like those barbecue tongs that they pick stuff up. And my grandmother saw it from behind. They completely pinched my shoulder. So that was my introduction to what it is to be Earthside, this beautiful place. And growing up, even though my mother was out of the military, she continued to move every 2 years or so as if it were just kind of ingrained in her. So I never really had a sense of home. My father and I lost communication, I'd say when I was about 10, 8, 6, 7, maybe 5. I was in kindergarten when I would move to live with my grandmother. And my mom got sent overseas. And it was then that the relationship between that sense of place, the sense of protection, was lost for me. And from then, I've always had complications with feeling grounded, with feeling in my body, with feeling at home here on earth. No matter where I went, I had issues with family and finding home until I realized at the older age, not old, I'm not old at all, the ripe older age of 40 is when I started to feel home. It's when I started to feel in my body. It's when I started to feel into my power. And In order to do that, you have to do something called embodiment. You have to be in your body. Now, my memories are scattered, but they don't work like other people's memories. It's more associations and feelings. People treated me poorly, even people I interacted with, even though I did my best to be sweet and kind to them and assist them with their needs. They wanted to toss mine aside. They wanted to downplay my experience. And I saw this and I just let it roll off of me. But I didn't realize that I didn't let it roll off of me. It actually stayed in me, stored in my tissues, stored in fight or flight. And I had the gift of detachment. But my detachment was so great that it was actually considered disassociation. So my memories, the good ones, are very few and far between. I have blips and pieces here and there, but ultimately, defending my stepfather from beating my mother, or my ex husband gaslighting me, and my father saying negative things about my body, they took precedence over being in the joyful moment. So when these people would disregard my well being, I took it as commonplace because my nervous system knew it. And I did my best to skate above it, hover in the light and love, even though I pierced through and automatically drew out people's shadows. People didn't even know they had these shadows because it's part of their ego, right? They defined it as I'm better than her. I, they just needed to be better than someone. And I wasn't going to argue with them. And I wasn't going to make them see my worth because no matter how much I gave, loved, and supported, for some people it wasn't enough. And when your ego is hungry, it is never satisfied. But when the ego is used for proper boundaries, like I started to assert for myself, people started treating me as if I were a villain. It's interesting. When you no longer people please, you're considered bad in someone's eyes. Why? Because it hurts their image. That being said, in the vaguest way possible, I knew something was wrong. I was shutting down. I was always such a life of the party, inspired people, had these deep conversations. I was inspired by people. Life was art for me. But when you go into the spaces of just seeking pleasure and dopamine and serotonin, you don't get to the space where you develop your oxytocin develops in weird ways because of what I was later diagnosed with, something called complex PTSD, and I'm currently working on my complex PTSD. So I met the fascinator and I started to learn about fascia. After I rolled out with the creator of the fascinator, Anthony Crisco, I was immediately changed. We rolled out my entire body using his certified, which I'm certified in, the fascinator method. And he also used the gua sha scraper on me. The gua sha scraper, accompanied with the whole body relaxation of fascia. I felt electricity going down my arm, through my fingertips, up the side of my neck, to my brain and my ear. And I could hear better, I could see better, I could feel the colors, the textures. Life itself became more vivid and more savorable. I wasn't stuck like I was stuck before in these patterns and these loops. I could see myself, and I noticed as things of life, pressures that would usually shut me down and put me into greater states of fight, flight, fright, or freeze, right? I was able to stay present. I was able to stay present to the point where I said, wait a minute, Have I been running away this whole time? Have I been disassociating? Yes, I have. And I had a tool. I had a tool. I had something to work with. And I immediately sought after, became certified in the Fascinator method. And so I now also sell the Fascinator. I host classes here currently on Oahu. And it's been a gift to me and the community. And if you check out my Instagram, you can see so far I've only recorded one of my one on ones, his extreme progress. And the thing is with the Fascinator, I'm not doing it for you, you're doing it for yourself. You can actually get one of these, use them at home. But I created a special technique on the back end, right? Because I'm healing my complex PTSD. I'm not going to carry that around, or I'm healing complex PTSD out of me. I'm not carrying complex PTSD. I'm still working the languaging out, right? Because quickly you want to say, my this, my that, but I don't own PTSD. I don't own complex PTSD. I don't own my traumas. I own my release. I own my pleasure. I own my being in this moment right now with you, sharing. And so I created a side journal and I started going through what was stuck in what parts of my body, what emotions were there. And I realized that I was disconnected. And a lot of people, I started watching people are disconnected from their bodies. And it all started to click back, all the information that I've been studying, all of the work with chakras, all the work with spiritual embodiment, all the work with hands-on healing and Reiki and hands of light and scalar, and started studying how collagen worked and how collagen and the fascia itself is an electro um, uh, magnetic matrix within the system, and it doesn't show up on traditional x-rays or CAT scans. It shows up in a very specific type of ultrasound, and in that way it becomes light. You can see it, and this light, I would say that the fascia is actually the light body of the human. So if you are seeking to get back into your body, explore your stuck fascia. According to the first oncology and fascial uh, conference hosted by Harvard Medical School that my mentor, Anthony Frisco, went to, the direct correlation is stuck fascia is where cancer grows. So if you want to avoid cancer, get rid of it. We've had people go from positive mammograms to negative mammograms, past kidney stones without knowing it, get rid of vertigo, plantar fasciitis, sciatica, a host of everything, trigger finger, all the things. If you really want to step into your healing era, step into your fascia, come back to your body. People chase pleasure, but they don't understand it's through the pain and releasing that pain that you have capacity for more. You can acknowledge it all you want, and you can repeat the stories. And I'm not saying don't go talk therapy or anything like that, but I know that that didn't work for me, especially when I had to switch from therapist to therapist and rehash the whole story again. And then they just look at me pity for an hour and then tell me, okay, well, the hour's up and you did such a good job telling me that. Thanks for sharing. It's like, what are there? Anyway, I'm getting off topic. The point is, the goal is to get the trauma out of the body. Once it's out of the body, it can hold capacity for greater pleasure, greater movement, greater artistry, creativity. And now is our time to step into that creativity. So if you want to work with me, there'll be some links somewhere, whatever platform this is on, most likely YouTube. Um, but I'm here for you. We're here for you. There's no other point than enjoying life on earth. We've had enough of the old paradigm. It's our time now to reclaim this earth And I'm personally here to bring heaven on earth. So if I'm here to bring heaven on earth, you're here to enjoy it. Anyway, we all want the same things: safety, healthy, delicious food, community, and places we can rest and release the suffering and things that have been passed down to us and that have been created in our lifetimes. But that's when we get into epigenetic reprogramming. So that's time for another time. But getting rooted in my body, becoming embodied, feeling safe in this place, in the here and now, that's always been the goal. So I hope you enjoy this journey with me, and I talk to you soon. Ciao for now. My earrings. I think I gotta put. Oop, stop it. I'm just talking. I'm just talking my list here. Ooh. that died. Okay, I'll let it go.